Good day. We are a team of 4 teachers from 3 different countries. We'll be presenting a PDM on classroom management, managing learning in large classrooms through effective grouping. I am Siti Sarah Rusof. We'll be presenting for the first part. The other team members are Adelyn Chin from Malaysia, Dandara Mesquita from Brazil, and Riky Depari from Indonesia. Why did we choose this topic? Large classes are a reality in many countries and they pose particular challenges. Ideal classroom size is having 15 or less students, while normal classroom size having 25 and fewer students. Most of us has large classroom size which is between 25 and 55 students. In fact, some of us has super large classroom size which is having students more than 55. Having large classroom will pose certain challenges. What are the challenges? First, it is difficult to keep good discipline going in large class. It's also difficult to provide more children of different ages and different abilities, wanting to learn different things at different speeds and in different ways. The challenges also, we can't easily give each child the individual attention they need, and we may not have enough teaching materials like books and teaching or learning aids for each student. Thus, our group decided to do classroom management, managing learning in large classroom through effective grouping. Here are the objectives for each session. Session 1, participants will be able to explain the characteristic of an effective grouping plan and its value in improving large classroom management. For session 2, the participants will be able to give examples of how to group students and create group work activities. Lastly, for session 3, the participants will be able to create grouping plans that are effective for specific learning objectives and classroom settings.
Hi, I am Dandara, and I'm going to give you an overview of the relevance of group work for large classroom management and some important considerations for implementing it effectively. It's common that in large classrooms, class consists most of lectures. As a result, students become accustomed to teacher-centered instruction and become more passive toward their own learning. That's why today group work has become a key feature of a truly student-centered classroom. We are social creatures by nature. Group work can help promote active learning and increase students' level of interest and comprehension. There are many benefits for using group work in your classes. Since group work involves having students actively working on the content, it provably increases the ownership of the subject matter. Collaborative tasks also foster the development of communication and teamwork skills, which serve not only academic purposes but also provide rehearsal for real-life situations. The continuous practice of group work also creates classroom environments that helps build a sense of learning community. Content is reinforced through active engagement, and also more challenging tasks can be assigned since they will be working collaboratively to solve the problem. Many teachers hesitate before assigning group work because they know it's a kind of task that involves some risks, such as consuming too much time, creating loud classroom noise, and also the free riding for some students. Group work indeed offers advantages and disadvantages. However, with an effective grouping plan, the teacher can make interventions that will reduce the risks of failure in the activity and help students enjoy the most out of the collaborative learning experience. An effective grouping plan requires a thoughtful design that takes into consideration many variants. It is essential that teachers design, manage, and access the learning task in order to the activity fulfill its potential. To ensure successful grouping and promote maximum learning, it's crucial that tasks are meaningful and carefully designed to provide efficient interactions. We need to keep in mind that working with others is not an innate skill. Teachers should explicitly teach teamwork skills as a rehearsal for real-life situations. And with this, it's important to teach ground rules to develop collaborative skills. It's also important to debrief the process after the activity and give feedback. The goal is to reinforce the relevance of the products to the contents and also reinforce our concept of a good group member's attitude and raise the level of motivation for all students.
Hi, I'm Adelyn from Malaysia. So I'm going to share with you 3 grouping strategy that through this webinar. First of all, it will be showing you the importance of group work. Students' participation in group work is the key ingredient in students' learning. Now, there is a multitude of ways that a teacher can arrange students for group work. However, bear in mind implementing different strategy for different outcome. First strategy will be teacher-assigned groups. Rather than letting students pick their teammates, by assigning groups, forces students to learn to get along with even with people that they don't like or choose to work with. One of the grouping idea will be group to mixed skill levels. The second strategy will be student-chosen groups. For this strategy, the chances are if you let students decide who they want to work, they will always stick to the same people. However, students able to work immediately as they knew each other well and like the group of people they work with. One of the grouping ideas will be students given options. Last but not least, randomized groups. For this strategy, the big advantage is that it is always seen as fair by all involved. One of the grouping idea will be use color index cards. To conclude, before our activity time, there are pros and cons in each of the grouping strategy that presented, but it is solely depend on your students and the activities you plan to do. Now, back with activity time. In our PDM, we group the participant using this grouping idea, which is movie puzzles. So how we going to do this? The facilitator will provide puzzle pieces from a movie cover. Each participant will get a piece of the puzzle. What they need to do is to communicate and search for people to match the pieces that they have to solve the puzzle in order to create a group.
Hi, I'm Riky Depari from Indonesia. I'm going to explain about practice activity we use in this presentation. This activity is taken from Session 1, which is proposed to give the participants experience working in collaboratively in challenging tasks and to reflect on the skills needed for the success on the activity. For this activity, we group them and ask them to imagine that they are working in a toy company. So their job is to make cube toys from cardboard. They will be provided with some materials such as cardboards, scissors, rulers, pencil, and glue. Usually we made these cube toys by drawing a pattern in the cardboard and cut it and fold it and stick it with glue. They only have 10 minutes to work on these cubes and have to make at least 5 cubes. After doing this activity, they will work on the reflection part and we will provide them with 3 questions. The first question is, what strategy helped your group to complete the activity? The second question is, what was the most challenging part of the activity? And the last, what were some collaborative skills required for success in this activity? In conclusion, teaching group work for a large classroom is certainly a challenge. It is common that in large classroom settings, students become accustomed to a teacher-centered learning management in which that they are more used to compete than to cooperate, to answer questions than to obey instruction, and to wait for teacher guidance rather than to correct and working autonomously. Despite the challenges, group work is a great way to increase students' interaction and learning and independence in a large classroom. We are social creatures by nature. Group work can help promote active learning and increase students' level of interest and comprehension. However, working with others is not an innate skill. Teachers should teach teamwork skills as a rehearsal for real-life situations. It is essential that teachers design, manage, and assess the learning tasks in order to finish this activity and to make it better. To ensure successful grouping and to promote maximum learning, it is crucial that tasks are meaningful and carefully designed to provide efficient interactions. Varying grouping strategies such as student chosen, teachers chosen, and randomized groups can serve multiple learning purposes. In addition, the teacher should create a framework that stabilizes ground rules for cooperation, assess both product and progress. Group work has become a key feature of a truly student-centered system of a learning management. Using small group in a large classroom allows a safe place where students can work through their ideas to solve problems and learn from context. Group-based learning experiences are not built in a day. The frequent use of group work will develop the necessary skills for both teachers and students. Hopefully, teachers can gradually incorporate the strategies presented in this workshop into their teaching. So this that's all our presentation. I hope useful for all of you guys. See you.